Monday's phone call between President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu come after concerns over the pending Israeli operation in Rafah. The White House said they discussed two key areas where tension has reportedly escalated in regards to getting more humanitarian aid into the region and Israel's future plans. Well, joining me now to give us a bit of an update is Israeli government spokesman Avi Hyman. Avi, thank you so much for joining us. Based on what you know about this latest conversation, would you say it was productive, or what do you hope comes out of it?
Good morning, Monica. Thank you so much for having me on. I think it was definitely productive. It's always good to have ongoing communication with the Biden administration, with the American people. The discussion led around Rafah, our operation, or our future operation in Rafah, which is where the last 4 Hamas battalions are residing. Now, if we don't take out those last 4 battalions of Hamas, we've lost the war. So we explained that to the president. I think he understands that. And we explained that we will go forward with the mission. We will get civilians out of harm's way. This is something we've done in the past successfully, and we'll do it again. It's just a matter of keeping that dialogue open. I think that the American administration are on the same page as us as far as the war aims are concerned, which is destroy Hamas, bring home every last hostage, and ensure that Gaza doesn't pose a threat to Israel ever again. Now, the only way to achieve that is to continue on smashing the Hamas battalions, ensuring that they don't control Gaza, because in their words, if they're allowed to rearm, they would retake Gaza. If we left just some of them behind, we won't allow that to happen. And we'll stand shoulder to shoulder with the American people.
Avi, this was an interesting statement coming out of the White House on Monday. Jake Sullivan made a claim that Israel is interfering with American politics. Take a listen if we have that thought.
You have the Prime Minister speaking on American television about his concerns about Americans interfering in Israeli politics. And then your question is, should Americans be speaking into Israeli politics, which in fact, we don't do nearly as much as they speak into ours. But that's not a constructive answer to your question. It's just an observation.
What is Israel's response to this claim? Would you say this observation of his is correct? But can't the same also be said about Biden's interference over how Israel is defending itself in this war?
Let me just say to everybody, I won't speak to anyone specifically, but let me just say to everyone out there that Israel is not a banana republic. Israel is a democracy. We elect our own government. We, the people of Israel, elect our government. Prime Minister Netanyahu was elected with an overwhelming majority. His coalition was elected with an overwhelming majority. And let me tell you that when Hamas plowed through our borders on October 7th, they didn't ask people who they voted for. They didn't even ask people if they were Jews, Israelis, Druze, Muslims, Christians. They killed every Israeli in sight if they weren't raping or worse. So we are not involving ourselves. We're not going to wade into American politics. Israel isn't a partisan issue, but Israel will be victorious, and that'll be good for America. That'll be good for the region. That'll be good for the world.
Absolutely. You make a great point. And Avi, before we go, do you know anything about the current state of the hostages that are still being held by Hamas?
Well, I can tell you that we've heard terrible things about what's going on. We've heard eyewitness reports of hostages released that have spoken about sexual violence against men, women, children that are being held, about starvation, about a lack of oxygen, in those tunnels that go 200 foot deep under Gaza. This is a conflict that affects every single Israeli, irrespective of color, of religion, color, or creed. We're all affected by this war, and we will all, in the most united way, we will all win this war, because we have to.
Absolutely. Avi Hyman, Israeli government spokesman, thank you so much for joining us here on One American News. We always appreciate it.
Thank you, Monica.
For all our viewers